What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope everyone out there has had a great Thursday. I hope your guys' week is going fantastic. I hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft, because that is what we do here literally every single day on the channel. Hope you guys are ready for the upcoming fantasy season, because, man, it is coming quickly. I feel like it is smacking us right in the face. So tonight, full PPR, 12 teams. I'm drafting from the 1.10. This is a double flex format. So one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, tight end, two flex. We got kicker and defense in here, and 5 bench spots. So you guys know what to do, man. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe on the way in, because that will make me the happiest guy alive. Hit the like button, do all the YouTube stuff, including, most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any fantasy football topics you guys have, redraft, dynasty, best ball, whatever it may be, throw it in the live chat. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. All right, let's not waste any time. Sending out the final warnings here. Mock is starting. Let's make sure everyone has notice. And then we're starting right away, guys. We're almost a minute late, but looks like we're just about on pace. All right. So there we go. Sleeper noises. JJ's off the board. Chase is off the board. Like I said, not wasting any time tonight. Okay. Tomorrow night, we have a real draft. Saturday night, we have a real draft. It's a loaded weekend here at the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited. The Catch League redraft tournament, league number 3 and league number 4. Drafting the next 2 nights. Tomorrow, I'll be drafting from the 1.10. Saturday, I'll be drafting from the 1.6. If I'm not mistaken, that should be the correct order. So last night's stream, we drafted from the 1.6. Tonight, I'll draft from the 1.10. Get a little bit of practice, but I mean, hey, we've been practicing like every day since Super Bowl ended, essentially. So I feel okay. You know, I feel like the last 2 drafts went pretty well overall. Nonetheless, we've got some news to get into tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, Jerry Jeudy expected to miss several weeks with a hamstring injury. His status for week 1 is uncertain. But there's optimism that it is not a long-term injury. So, I mean, you know, several weeks could mean 2 weeks, could mean a week and a half. He's really pushing it. Could be 5 weeks. Who knows? But let's see here. We are exactly 2 weeks away from Thursday night kickoff. So, obviously, the Lions, the Chiefs, only teams playing on Thursday night. But it's pretty close here, right around the corner. So, you know, I think I never want to see anyone injured, of course. I haven't been very high on Jerry Jeudy throughout the offseason, or at least not as high as others. But, you know, it's not like when a player that you're not high on gets injured, like, unless, like, you're purely saying, I don't like them because they're injury prone, like maybe like a DeAndre Swift, a player I'm high on. Sometimes I get pushback on that. You know, like, outside of that, being very vocal about, like, yeah, I do not like them because they are injury prone, and that's the exact reason I don't like them. You know, I don't know. All I'm saying is, even if you're not high on a player, just because they get injured doesn't mean that you really, like, you know, have accomplished anything, right? So for me, like the Jerry Jeudy thing, I hope he's healthy. I hope he's back. I know a lot of you guys out there have a lot of stock in Jerry Jeudy, dynasty formats, all that stuff. So, I mean, I never like to see a player injured, but, you know, we've had the Cooper Kupp hamstring pop up. Now we got Jeudy popping up with his hamstring injury. So it's unfortunate. You know, you hate to see this. But, I mean, Cooper Kupp was back at practice today. We talked about that, right? And I don't know. We'll see what happens with Jeudy. Obviously, we'll just continue to monitor it day by day. But one player that I have been talking about a ton is Courtland Sutton. And for those of you who have gone out and gotten some shares of Courtland Sutton, maybe in best ball drafts, you know, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, he's still a phenomenal pick in Dynasty. There's still some value to, like, any wide receiver in Dynasty. But, yeah, I mean, obviously long-term, I don't love the outlook for Sutton. But if you have gone out and got some shares of Sutton, best ball, I don't know. It's looking better and better, right? That's obviously the biggest impact for me is Cortland Sutton is probably going to rise up on draft boards even a little bit more, and maybe nothing drastic, right? But a round or so I think is realistic for Cortland Sutton at the moment, because he already had some late round conviction brewing for Cortland Sutton, right? The thing I keep telling you guys is he had double digits, full PPR every game last year in games he was healthy, except for 4 games. So, at the end of the day, like, he's a pretty decent flex option. Worst comes to worst, decent being the key term. But once again, like, this Broncos offense, I'm still not super high on them. Like, yeah, I like Sean Payton more as a head coach. Preseason outing didn't look great against, like, the Cardinals second stringers. Like, the Cardinals are predicted to be like the worst defense in the league as is. So, the offensive line looks sloppy, but I don't know. Things can get worked out, as the season goes on and beginning the season. Preseason and beginning the season, still a long time. But, I just haven't been crazy high on the Broncos offense. But I have been pretty vocal that I think Cortland Sutton's been a good value. And I know other people in the fantasy community have had that same idea, right? And I do think with the news with Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton's going to move up on draft boards, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, about a round or so I think is fair, unless we start to get like news that like this is going to be a really bad injury for Jeudy. But I just don't know if we're going to be able to figure that out until time goes on. So, you look at the rest of this receiving core. You got Marquez Callaway there. I guess the other guy that we should talk about is Marvin Mims, right? Because a lot of you guys do have shares in Marvin Mims in dynasty formats. And even in, a good amount of redraft leagues, depending on how deep the bench is, what format it is, double flex, 3 wide receiver, you might have shares of Marvin Mims as well. And that's probably the next best thing if you hold a Broncos player right now. I still think Cortland Sutton, he gets the largest impact, but I do think Marvin Mims gets a bit of an impact, of course, as well. So we'll see how it shapes out. But definitely an unfortunate update for the day. Okay, here's an update from Sleeper from 4 hours ago that I absolutely hate. And I'm not feeding into it. So go ahead and @ me in the chat. And they moved the ball period in practice. Bucks rookie running back Sean Tucker split first team reps with Rachaad White. White started the drive. Tucker finished the drive. Yeah, so I don't care. I mean, let me know. Like, are you guys worried about Sean Tucker if you're already high on, if you're already high on Rachaad White? Because I'm not. I mean, I still think, like, it would make sense for other running backs to be involved here in terms of the ground game. But Rachaad White, the reason we like him, full PPR, he's going to get those receptions. He's going to get those dump offs from Baker. And I still think all that's going to be there, even if somebody else starts to, eat into some of the carries. For me, it's never really been about the carries or, Rachaad White being like a pure workhorse style running back. For me, it's always been the PPR upside that he brings to the table and the fact that the Bucs are probably going to be playing from behind quite a bit and be in positions where they need to throw the ball. And I believe, Baker's going to dump the football off as well. So, but anyways, figured I'd throw that out there. The Browns traded for Josh Dobbs. They traded Josh Dobbs to the Cardinals. Sorry, worded that incorrectly. Let me make this pick. I was kind of hoping Ramondre might fall there. I was kind of thinking about going with back-to-back running backs here, but 2 through the first 4 rounds. But I mean, I'm gonna reach tonight because he's not gonna make it back to me. And I just had a draft where he went in the 4th round. And you guys know I don't care anyways. I love Christian Kirk, so like I'll take him all day long here. But yeah, Josh Dobbs now in the Cardinals, if anyone cares. We have the Trey Lance stuff going on still. He might get traded. I don't quite know what type of value the Niners are going to get back for him. We talked about this earlier in the offseason. Like, if the Niners were going to trade Trey Lance, it should have been like right before the draft when nobody really knew like what value is really here. And like now that the preseason has gone on, I mean, he's done some good things in the preseason, but I think ultimately, obviously, Sam Darnold beat him, in terms of the quarterback 2 spot on the bench. So I don't know. I mean, obviously that impacts a lot of you guys in Dynasty. I saw in a lot of our Dynasty leagues a lot of chat about this. So let me know what you guys think about that situation. I did read shortly, not too long ago, that the Dolphins did make an offer for Jonathan Taylor, which the Colts denied. And now the Bears, and for some reason I'm blanking on the second team, are expected to make an offer as well. Let's take a look here. I got it pulled up. The Bears and Broncos are interested, and Miami will continue to try and make a deal. So Miami's not off the board, but their first offer was rejected, which can be pretty typical. Like you're going, just like when you guys trade in your fantasy leagues, right? Like you always start low, then you build up from there, and then you compromise with the other side, and hopefully both sides get a good value. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I think that's just about everything. If there's anything you guys think that I missed, since I guess I didn't stream last night. I streamed the night before. But yeah, just let me know if there's anything else you guys want to go over. And let me get caught up with the live chat. Guys, hit the like button for me if you haven't done so. And let's move along. All right, we got Dom in the house, Richard Glass, Godfather, Chase, Bryce, Cats. Good to see everybody. Jukes in the building. What's good, Catch? Long time no see. Yeah, man, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. It's that time of year. Glad to have you in the building. Chase, glad you brought this up. I saw you bringing this up on Discord. Choose one to pick up in Dynasty: Gainwell, Kyron Williams, or Deion Jackson. I'm going to go Gainwell. I'm going to go Gainwell here. And that was my initial reaction, and I was going to respond on Discord, but then I saw there was some other chat that I wasn't caught up on, so I didn't want to, respond without having the full picture. But I'll go Gainwell all day long, man. I'll go Gainwell, Jackson, then Kyron Williams. Nick, how do I join a live draft with you with money? They are all filled for the year except for the Superflex League, which is at the moment exclusive to YouTube members who are paying the monthly membership. But that league still has a couple spots open, and I'm going to have to decide on a date where I do a cutoff and then I start taking names. And then I can do like a little random wheel thing to choose, or I won't be choosing, but it'll be randomized who gets in. But and then I do have one spot in the auction league open still. Once again, reserved for a YouTube member, but going to have to make a decision. But yeah, the Catch Fam tournament for the year, the free redraft tournament. I mean, I posted that it was opening like after 11 p.m. one night, and you guys filled all 45 spots in like less than an hour. So it filled very quickly this year. All right, let me make this next draft pick. But, Nick, I mean, the best thing to do is just be on Discord, be looking out for announcements, because if I do have any openings, that's where I'm going to make that announcement. I might, mention something on stream, but ultimately you'll want to be on the Discord, which, link is down below. It's completely free to join. That's generally speaking where I'm going to make those types of announcements. So, all right, give me Mike here. Join the team, Mike. Give me my wide receiver 4. Throw him in the flex. I mean, a couple of Mikes here. Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams. Which Mike do you guys prefer? We've got Hollywood Brown on the board. George Pickens doing some things tonight in the preseason action. What a catch. I mean, I think that Pickens hype is going to continue to build. And, like the draft that I was in earlier tonight, he went pretty early compared to ADP. So, I think that, Deontay Johnson goes at 5.11 tonight, but I still think just those big plays that we see out of Pickens in the preseason, you're going to see him move up a little bit in ADP. Jahan Dotson here at the 6.1. I thought about going Dotson at the 5.10. I mean, Dotson's becoming, especially with the Terry McLaurin injury, Dotson's becoming more and more of a player that I'm targeting for flex value. So, I don't mind that pick at all, but I'll take my RB2 here. Give me Swift behind the Chubster. Tommy, good to see you. Thank you for listening in while you're at work. Bryce, I have Bijan round 1. In round 2, do I pick Eckler, CD, Garrett Wilson, 2 flex, full PPR? I don't think you'll get Eckler in the second round. I mean, not even in an 8-team format do I think that would happen. I go CeeDee Lamb if he's there. If he's not, I go Garrett Wilson. I mean, you know, if you're starting your draft with Bijan, then your second pick is Eckler, CeeDee, or Wilson. Don't overthink it. All those guys are great, Bryce. Boss man, good to see you. Hello, hello. Andrea, what's going on? Tommy, crazy. My league is moving from 1 flex to 2 and having 6 bench spots. I feel it could clean up. Yeah, I mean, go get that late round value. I mean, if you're moving from 1 flex to 2, and then I don't know if you're used to having 6 bench spots, but yeah, I mean it's at least 2 extra players if you went from 5 to 6 bench spots and 1 to 2 flexes. Nick, I would just say Discord. I mean, here. I mean, this is what our Discord looks like. So you just have a place where I can make announcements. And you're gonna get notifications for any of our content that goes out. Anything, any mock drafts I'm trying to fill. I always send out the mock draft invites on here. We have NFL news that goes up here. Senior Cinnabon is in the chat. Thank you for always, taking care of our Discord and being our primary mod. But, we just have general chats, places you guys can talk about your redraft formats. I'll try to give you guys feedback as often as I can. Dynasty chat, Underdog chat. So, I mean, really just a kind of like glorified AOL is really what Discord is. But it's honestly just the best place for me to communicate with you guys and have a place that I can reach all you guys at once, as opposed to, trying to make announcements on Discord or anything like that. So, or excuse me, on live stream or anything like that. So, David, what's up, man? How's my team in a 10-team PPR? Quarterback is Geno. You got Bijan and Gibbs. Olave, Dotson, Higbee. Tight end, flex is Watson. Judy, on the bench. It's okay. I mean, and by the way, guys, I don't think it's the end of the world if you own Jerry Judy by any means. Brees Hall, Cook, I like that. Juju, Brandon Cooks, Penny, Kincaid. Okay. Nice. I mean, it looks pretty solid. For a 10-team, there may have been guys kind of across the board that maybe here and there I liked more, but I think Geno's fine at quarterback. Like your ceiling's not super high, but I think he's okay. Bijan and Gibbs is fine. Olave, Dotson, I like that. Higbee is fine, probably a good value for you, but I mean, I like that you kind of got the upside in Kincaid, right? I love Christian Watson in the flex. I think, Judy kind of a damper, but it's not like his season is over. Oh, wow. Trevor Lawrence is here. I'll take him all day long. Don't even have to think about that. Yeah, I think the team looks pretty solid overall. I like Cook and Hall on the bench. I think your running backs give you a lot of upside. I do think Judy kind of is a stinker because, I mean, Juju and Cooks are fine for me. But, I don't know. There are other names that I prefer overall at the wide receiver position. So, this kind of depends. All right, sorry. Let me take a look at the draft. Make sure I don't mess anything up here. I love T-Law in the 7th. I was not expecting him to be available at all. I probably need to go running back with this next pick because Cam Akers off the board. I only have 2 running backs, so that would probably be smart. Go get my 3rd guy here. Cook, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. I'll just go Gibson. He caught 1 preseason touchdown. I'll ride it to the moon. Hurts before Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, you see that sometimes. I really think with those top-tier quarterbacks, and plus, be like Chunk. I mean, Chunk always goes out and kind of has a controversial draft. Just tries out a lot of different strategies, takes a lot of different players, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't think it's crazy. I think you'll see some drafts where Hurts goes before Mahomes, but Bryce, rank these 3 full PPR: Mixon, Ridley, Chubb, Cooper. Rank these 4. Yeah, I mean, you still got to put Chubb number 1. Then I'll probably go Ridley for the upside, then Cooper, then Mixon. But I still like Cooper. Oh, Gibbs. Gibbs, not Chubb. Um, I probably go Ridley, Gibbs, Cooper, Mixon then in full PPR. Smokey, what's up, man? And let us know how the draft goes. And good to see you, bro. Cats, don't listen to the reports. Trey Lance, the QB1. All right, so I didn't draft Cortland Sutton on purpose because I wanted to see where he went. He goes at the 8.8 tonight. So, yeah, about a round or so higher than he usually goes. It makes sense. Chase, I need y'all to convince me to either draft Wilson or Trask. Let me hear it. Definitely Kyle Trask. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could argue that it's Zach Wilson. Let us know in the chat. Who would you rather roster in a dynasty format, Zach Wilson or Kyle Trask? Broncos are cursed. They might be. Chase Wellner, what's up, bro? Hello. Trask is in my taxi. Wilson is on my bench. Send in your roster, Chase. Let's take a look. Michael Pittman got banged up today during the game, hurt his toe. I did see that. Cats, when is the auction draft? What is the time? Tommy, that's a good update. Yeah, Michael Pittman did get a little banged up today. Let me see if I can get an update on that. First, let me check. The auction draft is set for September 2nd at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it's a Friday. And the reason I have it set for that Friday, no, that's a Saturday. That makes sense. Okay. I don't know. It's always a weird weekend because that's Labor Day weekend. For some people, that means nothing. For some people, they like have a mini vacation. It's like some people don't want to draft that weekend. I thought I set it for Friday, but actually Saturday probably works better for me anyways because auction drafts will take a bit of time. And I would like to stream it because no one really does auction content, and I like auction content, auction drafts. So, yeah, Saturday, September 2nd. It'll probably be at like 10:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. It says 9:30 p.m., but that's fake news. So, dang it, I needed Romeo Dobbs right here. It's okay. But yeah, let me know, Cats, if you're interested. Just send me a DM on Discord. First come, first serve. YouTube members. Okay. Oh, man. Wow. Wide receivers are thin. It's that time of year, man. There's just there's no such thing as late round value anymore. I mean, there is always, but at the same time, it's just like those guys you get so used to drafting late. It's like, no, guys are just going to go out and draft who they want now. You're going to have to kind of get a little uncomfortable when it comes to your bench players. I mean, I still need an RB4 anyways, right? I don't know. Just give me Jacoby Myers. It's like the least confidence I've ever had in a pick. But I do need a wide receiver 5. I mean, I talk about that all the time. Like in the double flex format, as much as I want a wide receiver 4 I trust, I want a wide receiver 5 I trust. I want someone on my bench who, Jerry Jeudy pulls his hamstring or Michael Pittman stubs his toe, Like, I want another dependable wide receiver who I can plug in right away because in these full PPR formats, double flex formats, that's going to be the most important position. So, I mean, do I trust Jacoby Myers? I mean, I like his value. Do I completely trust him? I don't know. Probably not. But nonetheless, he's on my team right now. Chase, how you feeling on Scary Terry this year? I haven't been able to gauge his value that well. I mean, I've been saying it for a couple weeks. The guy that I prefer is going to continue to be Jahan Dotson, even with his value going up a bit. I mean, some drafts he's going before McLaurin now that the injury's in there. But, Yeah, I mean, I'm still a fan of McLaurin. You know what he brings to the table, which is just pure consistency. But ultimately, I still like Dotson more. All right. I'll go Devon A. Shane, but I wanted McKinnon. Boss man's out here sniping me like usual. So, okay, to finish this draft, I mean, I need a tight end. That would probably be important. Then I'm just going to go with the two best wide receivers I can grab and probably the most potential upside. So, all right, so Chase, let's take a look at your team here, your tiny team. Oh gosh, there's no in between. It's either tiny or way too big. So, Hurts, Pierce, Mixon, Lamb, Waddle. It's so big it hurts. Pitts, Romeo Dobbs, Mike Williams, Michael Pittman. Well, I feel like this team got a lot better, man. But it hasn't changed that much, has it? Russell's in the flex. Zach Wilson, Hall, Warren, Shane, Jones, Moore, Schultz, Irv Smith, Roshan, Stetson Bennett, Kyle Trask, Puka, Tajay Spears. Nice little taxi squad you got there. Is Zach Wilson feels like he's taxi squad eligible, but well, I guess he's not. Yeah. It depends on your league, but he's not, right? He's going into his third season. I mean, so that does kind of change things. Because it's not like you can just drop either player, and the only other player you can put on your taxi squad is Devon A. Shane. So I don't know. I'd still rather have Zach Wilson than Kyle Trask, I guess. Only because I've been watching Hard Knocks lately, and he's getting coached up well by Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. You don't really have anyone else you can drop. Your team looks pretty solid, though, man. From where it started this offseason, and it wasn't that bad or anything, but I don't know. In this scenario, because you do kind of have a quarterback problem. That's your biggest problem on this team. So I don't know. I might just hold. I might hold both of them. But it's not like you're getting a tremendous amount of immediate value out of either of them, you know. J-Dubs, what's up, man? Maybe we'll do no, I won't be doing an Underdog tomorrow. Tomorrow is league number 3's draft, and then Saturday night's the league number 4's draft, so I'll be rolling with actual drafts. But Underdog soon. Maybe we'll do Underdog Sunday night. I have a real draft Sunday as well. I am in 14 leagues this year, not including my best ball entries. So if I don't win at least one league this year, you guys should probably unsubscribe. X Heat Lifer, what's up, man? How are you? Nick, all the mock draft invites are always first come, first serve. They're sent out on Discord, and they fill quickly. But you can always try and DM me right before, and I'll try and get you the link early. X Heat Lifer, any moves for this team? 12-team PPR, drafted at the 12th spot. Bijan, Wilson, Mahomes, Moore, Judy, Kittle, Sanders, Tony, Pirine, Dobbs, Mitchell, Warren, Tank, Dell. I like the team. Let me make this draft selection very quickly. Yeah. You're not getting Cole Kmet from me, boss man. I know you're sitting there trying to draft my tight end, bro. You can have Dalton Schultz, okay? Let me make this next draft selection. Then I'll take another look at that team. But at the top of my head, it looks pretty good. See, this is a tough area right here. Do I take another wide receiver? Probably, because that's what I prefer. Or do I go with the RB5? Because, there's some running backs on this team. But I'm going to take a wide receiver. Give me Darnell Mooney. The Jets. What happened to Walito? All right, we can have one auto pick. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. All right, sorry, guys. All right, back to the chat. So, okay, you're starting Mahomes. I mean, getting Mahomes, Bijan, and Wilson is a win. And Tony Pollard? Am I reading that right? Tony Pollard's on this team? So, Mahomes, Bijan, Tony Pollard, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Kittle. I don't know how many flexes you have, but probably Romeo Doubs in the flex with Judy hurt. So that leaves Miles Sanders on the bench is great. I mean, if he's your RB2 and that's not Tony Pollard, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other Tonys. Tony. Just Tony Pollard, right? P.R.I. Mitchell, Warren. I like that you have some handcuffs. And Tank Dell's a little nice piece at the end. Team looks good to me, man. I wouldn't make any moves yet. I just kind of hold, move into week 1. And I think it's a pretty good looking squad. I'm a DJ Moore believer. I like Romeo Doubs as a bench piece, as a flex piece. And I think the running back room looks pretty solid. I think it's a good looking squad. Nick asking if anybody needs someone for a 12-team PPR league. Let them know. Chase, I have seen your roster 100 times, but I see 100 rosters 100 times a day. But I like that we followed your team throughout the offseason, man. No worries, cats. Just let me know. But yeah, I definitely don't want you to be late to auction draft. Oh, Kadarius Toney. I was like, man, how did you get Tony Pollard on this team too? Okay, but even then, because it kind of in my head, I was like, I don't think I'm right. Kadarius Toney. I was sitting here like Tony. That makes sense. It's still a good team though. I mean, Mahomes, Bijan, Sanders, Wilson, DJ Moore, Kittle, then probably Romeo Doubs in the flex, and Judy's nursing on your bench, right? But a good amount of handcuffs here. Pirine, Mitchell, Warren. I like that. And Kadarius Toney and Tank Dell present some upside on the bench, especially if Tony's healthy week 1. So I still think it's a good looking squad, man. But yeah, I wouldn't make any moves right now. If you were going to make any moves, probably the most important thing is going to be some more wide receiver depth because of the injury to Jerry Jeudy. But like the only realistic thing you could really do is put Jeudy on the trade block, which is going to be a buy low for people, and you're going to have to pair him with one of those bench running backs, And then, like, what value are you really going to get out of that? So maybe you just hold off for now. All right. Give me Rashid Shaheed, please and thank you. Oh, I like this team tonight. I do. I'm okay with this squad. A little different. It's just the time of year, guys. I mean, like, you're just not going to be as comfortable with the second half of your draft as you were literally probably 2 weeks ago, maybe even a week ago. So just get ready. I mean, people are going out and they're following their conviction. They're getting the guys they want. It is what it is. It's fantasy time, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we passing on Daniel Carlson, guys? Why? Why is Danny Carlson being drafted after Money Mac and Jason Myers, who are both great kickers? Tucker, fine. If you're going to draft a kicker, draft Danny Carlson, okay? Kicker won the last 2 years, and it's never changing. He is the kicker one in fantasy for the rest of our lives, guys. Okay. Let's see. Trying to get caught up here. Tommy, how would you personally approach a 10-team, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, 6 bench spots, RB heavy and late wide receivers, or wide receiver RBs are a mix? Uh, yeah, it depends on when you draft from. But I'd probably go hero running back or just start aggressive at wide receiver. You know, when it comes to the 10-team formats, you're going to be able to find some pretty good value at running back a little bit later on. That kind of tier I like: DeAndre Swift, Monty, Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco, Gibson, Akers, Herbert, Charbonnet, all those guys, right? Like, you're going to be able to stack up there. So I think if you go hero running back and then just go really aggressive at wide receiver, that's probably the move for me. And you can still find some late round wide receivers. There's some guys you like in the late rounds, right? I mean, Tank Dell. I don't know why that's the only guy that came to mind for me, but they're like, I've definitely been wide receivers you've been targeting in later rounds. So, George Pickens kind of moving up there though. That was the other guy that came to mind for you. For me, when thinking of you, I'm really tired tonight, by the way. I'm sorry, guys. JSN, he's kind of with his injury moved around a little bit too. So, you can still get some good late round value. But I think, yeah, you probably go, depending on when you're drafting from, hero running back, or you start aggressive at wide receiver. If you do that, you can still go hero running back, but you're going like Kenneth Walker or Ramondre Stevenson if you start your draft with 2 or 3 wide receivers. You know what I mean? But yeah, you want to fill those flex spots before anything with wide receivers. And if you want to get a hero running back in there, I think that's fine. If not, I mean, I don't really prefer going heavy running back. Andrew, have a good night. Chase, no worries. That's what we're here for, man. Sanders in the 6th, Kittle in the 7th. Nice. McColl on the wire. I mean, are we sleeping on McColl now? He can see more targets now. That's probably a good point. Corey Davis did retire. I mean, I'm not going out and like dropping a ton of value for McColl Hardman. Like, I think everyone you have on that team is worth rostering over McColl Hardman. So I'd still continue to hold. There's going to be players that, kind of emerge from the waiver wire. I mean, Lazard is still the wide receiver 2 there. McColl Hardman's more of a boomer bust guy. So, like, he's going to be a guy you're not going to really be able to depend on. It's probably going to be more frustrating to roster more than anything. Brandon, what's up, man? How are you doing? I'm excited for League 4 as well. By the way, Brendan, I'm not ignoring. I know you asked for an 8-team startup draft. My my schedule and like the amount of mock draft requests I ended up getting, I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to be able to get them all done. So I am sorry, Brendan, if I don't get that one done. But I was not trying to ignore your comment. But yeah, I mean, I am trying to get a mock draft out from every draft position for 8-team, 10-team, and 12-team formats. And those first couple of videos, I was like, like I did last year. This is what I do every month of August. Let me know, what style of mock draft you need. I'll make a video for you. And I did that this year. And last year I was able to do it and get to everyone's mocks, except like there were a couple at the very end of the month, or beginning of September. I was like, yeah, there's just no way I can do it. But this year it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be letting a lot of people down. Like, I stopped saying that at the beginning of the videos if you guys didn't notice. So, okay. J-Dubs needs the 3 wide receiver. Yeah, I have like more than one people who need a 3 wide receiver mock. I just drafted in a 3 wide receiver league. I still haven't been able to get it out there. But yeah, we can definitely always run off-air mock drafts as well. So let me know if you guys have those requests, as J-Dubs is saying. All right, let's take a look at a couple teams here. Box and the Jack, how are you, man? Drafted from the 1.2 tonight. Mahomes and Kittle, you're fine there. You know my spiel. You can always draft a second tight end behind Kittle. Sanders, Pierce, White, Roschon, Zamir White. I'm fine with that. Chase, Ridley, Beckham, Juju, Thielen, Collins. Not my favorite late round guys. Like, I probably prefer Sky Moore here. I think Juju's okay there, but I probably prefer Romeo Dobbs right now. Thielen's okay. He looks like he's going to be the slot receiver. Ceiling's kind of cap. Collins is fine. Just some of those guys just don't necessarily excite me. Like, you're really relying on Chase and Ridley, which is fine unless they get hurt, and then like it's double flex format. So Eagles, good no, you're fine there. So you're starting Mahomes and Kittle, Sanders and Pierce, Chase and Ridley. I'm going to say you're flexing Rashad White and you're flexing Juju Smith-Schuster. Odell could sneak in there. Thielen could sneak in there. Maybe Roshan Collins. Maybe even Zamir White. Eagles defense, good no, you're good there. I mean, pretty good looking team, but not my favorite late round wide receivers. I'm okay with flexing Rashad White, I guess, but I prefer a wide receiver there. So, but you do have the upside of Mahomes and Kittle, and Chase and Ridley is you know, a smash start. I think maybe over Sanders or Pierce, I go like Brandon Ayuk over Sanders. You may have still gotten Sanders here at 5-2 since Richard went double running back already. Or maybe if you do go Sanders there, if you prefer him, maybe you go like Godwin or Lockett here, whoever, over Pierce. And then over like Odell, maybe you get A.J. Dillon or Brian Robinson. That may be how I look at it, but nonetheless. How do you feel about it, bro? Cats, how are you, man? I don't know why I like screamed your name. All right, A. Rich and Gino. Hey, Anthony Richardson looked pretty good tonight, running around against the Eagles. Did pretty decent tonight. It was probably the best outing we've seen from him. Wasn't the Eagles starters, but it was still good to see. I like him paired with Gino. I think that's what I have in the catch family number 1. I think those are my quarterbacks, so I can't really talk smack there. Mandrew's fine there. Barkley, great value on Stevenson. I was considering him at the 4-3. I love him behind Barkley. Stevenson's going to be fine. Cook, I still think Cook is okay value there. I like Warren in the 10th. Wilson's fine the 13th. Wilson, Deontay Pittman, Moore, Burks. I mean, good value on all those guys. Not a ton of upside, but they're all fine. I mean, Wilson is obviously, but I still think good value between the 5th and 9th at wide receiver. Not necessarily my favorite guys, but I think they're all fine. I like Deontay there. I think Pittman's good. And like, I don't know. They're all good value. So Myers defense line, or Myers as your kicker, Lions defense. So you're starting Gino and Andrews, Barkley and Stevenson, Wilson and Deontay, flexing Pittman, flexing Elijah Moore. So Cook, Burks, Warren, Wilson, a pretty good bench with A-Rich as well. Good looking team. I think a solid squad to go into the year with for sure. Yeah, I mean, the value on Stevenson behind Barkley is ridiculous. Thomas, I'm getting Kincaid. There you go. That's your guy. All right, Bossman's at the 112. So we got Burrow at quarterback, Kincaid at tight end with Schultz. I told you you're getting Schultz tonight, bro. But I like that you took the upside in Kincaid first. Man, people just hate Dalton Schultz. And I don't really like him either. But he's good in the 15th for sure. Walker, I'm okay with Walker as a RB1. Might prefer him as a RB2, but I'm okay with him as a RB1. Pacheco, Akers, McKinnon, Deuce Vaughn, that's fine. Brown, St. Brown, London, Dotson, Lazard, Dell. I actually like this wide receiver room. I'm starting to grow again on Alan Lazard, who was like my most drafted receiver in best ball for a while. I mean, those late round guys that you just add to a lot of builds always end up. I mean, like Kenneth Gainwell is my most drafted running back on Underdog. You know, like you get them in a lot of builds, they build up, right? I don't know. I've been watching Hard Knocks. That's what it is. I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers throw like dimes to Lazard in the end zone in Hard Knocks, and I'm like, yeah. So, anyways, I like him right there. All right, you're starting Burrow and let's say Kincaid, but it could be Schultz, right? Walker and Pacheco, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, London, Dotson. Whew. Love that starting lineup. You got Akers, McKinnon, Lazard, Dell, Deuce Vaughn, fine. And one of the 2 tight ends, Cowboys defense on the bench. Very good-looking team. I love the starting lineup, man. Appreciate that, Brendan. J-Dubs, we'll get that organized. Just annoy me on Discord, and we'll get it figured out. Tommy, possible 10-man mock Sunday morning, afternoon. I will try. Sundays are always a big... Like, I never know what my schedule is going to be like Sunday. Yes, Tommy, you can do a free subscription, then cancel. You can do that with just about any streaming platform. Also, if you guys don't have Netflix, or if you do have Netflix and you haven't watched the quarterback show yet, I think it's really good. You will like become an immediate Kirk Cousins fan. And watching Mahomes before he knew that he was going to play in the Super Bowl, and just watching his progression through the season, and really like the two most amazing things for me, like Mahomes playing through that ankle injury, like we really take things like that for granted. And I don't know how in the world Mahomes did the things he did through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. But gosh, it really is fascinating. And then Kirk Cousins was hurt like all the last year, but it's like you hear about these injuries to quarterbacks and you just like brush it off, and we just take like these athletes for granted. But like Kirk Cousins was hurt all year long and like dealing with a rib injury, and like every time he gets hit, which the Vikings offensive line sucked, so he got hit all the time. Like it's just getting re-aggravated. You know, he played Washington in week 9. That's the week he got hurt. And it's just like kind of incredible. But all right. Hard Knocks is not on Netflix. QB is on Netflix, Tommy. Okay, team reviews. Let's see here. Reverse at the 1.6. Tua and Rodgers. I like that combo. Yeah, Tua's starting to become a guy. You can't really get him in those later rounds. You got to go get him when he's there. Hawk is fine. I like Hawkinson in the 6th. I don't really like him in the 4th, but in the 6th round, I like him. JT, Cook, Herbert, Mostert. I can take that in redraft. Hill, Higgins, Debo, Lockett. I like that. Tony, why not? Mechie, why not? You get a little bit of upside. It says your wide receiver 5 and 6. Niners defense, Younghoe Koo, you're good there. So you're starting Tua, T-Hawk, JT, presumably. Oh, I like JT at the 2.7. Jacobs at the 2.10 tonight. Okay. Cook as your RB2, maybe Herbert. Then you're starting Hill, Higgins, flexing Debo, flexing Lockett. So leaves Cook or Herbert on the bench with Tony, Mostert, Rodgers, Mechie. Good team. Yeah. I like this squad. Looks good to me. All right, Richard Glass at the 1.1. What's up, Richard? How are you doing, man? Always appreciate you being here, man. All right, Fields at the quarterback position. You know I love that. Late round tight end, Jawan Johnson. Yeah, man. I like Jawan Johnson. You know, obviously there's some other names here, but Taysom Hill's a kind of a tight end, not really. So Jawan Johnson is still a good value if you go late round tight end. I do think if you go late round tight end, maybe you go kind of anchor tight end. You take a second guy, depending on when you're drafting. But like you got a good defense and good kicker in the Jags and the Bass man. So kind of filter through tight ends on the waiver wire anyways. All right, so you got Gibbs, Mixon, Dillon, Bigsby, Gainwell. I can take that in a redraft. You know, you're high on Mixon. There are probably other names I like right there, but regardless, you're kind of reaching no matter what based on ADP. So I don't know, maybe if you want an early quarterback, you could go Mahomes at 3.1, then you could get like Dameon Pierce, Alexander Madison as your RB2. But ultimately, you know, if you want Mixon, it is what it is. JJ, Ayuk, Davis, Flowers, Sky Moore, Mims. I mean, I'm okay with this wide receiver room. It's not my favorite, but I like Flowers a lot. I like Ayuk a lot. Obviously, you have JJ to lean on. Gabe Davis, kind of that upside boomer bust play. I like Sky Moore where you got him, and I like Marvin Mims, you know, and especially he grows a little bit in value with Judy being hurt. So let's see. You're starting Fields and Johnson, Gibbs and Mixon, JJ, Ayuk, flexing Flowers, probably flexing Gabe Davis realistically, but Dillon, Sky Moore, Mims, Bigsby, Gainwell, a good little bench, some nice handcuffs there, some wide receivers who could bring some upside. So good defense, good kicker, good looking squad, Richard. All right, let's roast my team. Let's do that. All right, T-Lock quarterback. I love that value in the 7th. Komet, I'll take that all day long. A little risky in a real draft, but if those guys are there at that value, I'll take them. Chubb, Swift, Gibson, Devon Shane, I'll take that. Redraft, why not? I mean, I have my kind of hero running back, right? The guy I can depend on. Then I got 3 upside guys who bring some risk. Whatever. Lamb, Moore, Kirk, Williams, I'll take that. Jacoby Myers, my wide receiver 5, Then I got Mooney and Shaheed on the bench. Great kicker. You guys, I can't believe you let Daniel Carlson fall to me. best fantasy player all time, and a good defense in the Seahawks defense, who I think will be even more improved this year. So starting T-Long, Komet, Chubb, and Swift, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, flexing Christian Kirk, flexing Mike Williams, so Gibson, Myers, Ashane, Mooney, Shaheed on the bench. I like this team, actually. I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, biggest question mark is the RB2 position, but, when it comes to hero running back build, that's usually your biggest question mark, right? So go out and get some stud wide receivers, fill the primary wide receiver spots, fill those flex spots, get some running backs who bring upside after your hero running back, a good value quarterback, a good value tight end, and some additional wide receiver depth. Good kicker, good defense. I like this team a lot, actually. Team of the night, I might give to Bossman because I really like his starting lineup. Burrow, Kincaid or Schultz, Walker, Pacheco, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, flexing London, flexing Dotson, McKinnon, Lazard, Dell, and Deuce Vaughn on the bench with one of those other tight ends. I thought that was a good team. But I also liked Reverse's team. Tua, T-Hawk, JT, Cook, Hill, Higgins, Debo, Lockett as a starting lineup. And Herbert could be in there over Cook. Some upside on the bench as well. So, yeah. But overall, a lot of good drafting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, J-Dubs ending the stream with a free membership. Who gets it? Albert, very deserving. Albert, you enjoy that 1 month free membership. Thank you, J-Dubs. What a guy. Clapping hand emojis in the chat for J-Dubs. I used to always say that, and or like catch emojis in the chat whenever someone super chatted or did something. I forgot. That was a thing I used to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's late. I got to be up early, so we'll go ahead and wrap up. There's a team for the night from the 1.10. I think it turned out okay. Tomorrow night, the Catch Fam League number 3 is drafting. We'll be on, I think, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I might push that back to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, though. So stay posted tomorrow. What do I have it set to? Set to 10 p.m. If you guys are in that league, it might get changed to 10:30. Richard's in that league. If you're listening, if you're still here, Richard. And, Friday is set for 10:30. Okay, good. Saturday is the one I probably need to change to 10:30. By the way, guys, Saturday after the review is streaming with me. He's in that league. And so Pete will be on with me. You guys have seen him in the chat before. And you guys have seen me do some short form content with them. But he's in that league. He's going to stream with me, so that'll be fun. All right, guys, you know what to do. Make sure you guys hit the like on the way out. If you guys are new, thank you for being here tonight. Really appreciate you. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Be sure to subscribe and check out the links down below. Follow us on Instagram. That's where I post all the mock draft links on there. And then make sure to join our free Discord. That's where the mock draft invites get sent out. So that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Talking some fantasy and drafting with me. Truly appreciate you guys. Kat says Richardson looked really good tonight. Don't even care that he was 6 of 17. It definitely was the best outing for him. He looked the most comfortable, definitely, which is good, right? All right, we'll end it with some Anthony Richardson love because I own him in one league now. A-Rich to the moon. And, so that'll do it. Live draft tomorrow. Make sure you guys are here. It'll be fun. And that's going to wrap it up for the night. So, love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch Fam. I should have an 8-team video coming out for you guys tomorrow. But that's going to wrap it up for today. So, with that, I will say, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And